Hey y'all, it's Ryan. Even when I'm short on time, I try to get some sort of doodling or drawing practice in every single day. So today we are going to look at this quick and simple line art. So grab your drawing tools and let's get to it. So for our line art that we're going to do, I'm going to create a new layer. I have my brush set to Monoline. I'm going to turn the brush size down to about 30, and there is no color palette for today because we're just going to be sticking with black for the whole thing. So I am going to start by drawing a large circle. I'm going to put my finger on the screen so that it actually snaps into a circle for me. I'm going to grab the circle, make sure it's centered. Okay. On a new layer, I'm going to do the same thing so that I can create that crescent moon shape. It is going to be a smaller circle. And then I can move it, stretch it just a little bit to get the crescent shape that I want. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to erase everything from the point of my moon over to the right so I get a nice crescent moon shape. So I'm going to pinch those two layers together to merge them into one. I'm going to come in with my eraser set to Monoline. I'm going to turn my eraser down to about 15% just so I can be really precise when I'm erasing right here. Okay, so I have one point done. So I'm going to do the same thing over on this one. Okay, now that I have those points erased, I can turn the size of my brush up to quickly erase everything else that I don't need on my canvas. All right, since I'm on one layer, I can stretch the moon out if I want and move it around. I can also rotate it just a little bit. Okay. So now I'm going to start building in my waves and my boat, but I'm going to do that on a separate layer behind my moon. So to start building in my waves and my boat, I'm going to come into my layers, tap the plus sign to create a new layer, drag this layer beneath my moon, and then come back to my monoline brush. I have it on the same weight that I did the moon. And I am just going to start on the right-hand side and draw a curved line over to the left. That'll form one wave. Now from about the center of the moon, I'm going to draw another line up and down to create the second. Then from this wave that I just created, I'm going to draw a sharp curved line out. I'm going to hold so it snaps to for me. From that point, I'm going to draw a curved line back towards the first wave that I drew, and again snap so it holds for me. Hold so it snaps for me. And then my last wave is going to be in the front. It's going to have a little slightly different shape from my first wave. All right, now to show movement within the waves, I'm going to come in and add lines that match or go with the shape of the original line that I drew for the waves. So I'm going to start with the wave, the curved one coming up and out of into the air. I'm going to start in the middle and just come down and just keep growing and drawing that curved line down. Hold so it snaps for me. Okay. Now these waves I'm not going to be able to hold so it snaps for me because they are so fluid looking. So these are not going to be as smooth as my waves up here, my lines up at the top. So I am just going to follow the shape of the wave that I made originally to create that movement in the water. Now here, I'm actually going to start by creating a circled loop back because I do want this to appear as if the wave is turning. I'm going to keep doing that a few times. And then eventually, I'm going to get to where it's going to go out and come back in. And now it's going to, you're going to start seeing it follow kind of the top of this wave. Okay. And then my last wave is going to be right up front right here. I find it easier to work, probably because I'm right-handed, from top down to the bottom so I can see exactly where I'm going as opposed to starting from the left and going over to the right. Okay, so now I have all of my waves drawn in. I'm going to come in and add just a really simple paper boat on top of this wave up top. I'm going to do that in a new layer. I'm going to drag that below the waves. Create a straight line going across. 2 diagonal lines going in and down. And then a triangle for the sail at the top, and then a line coming down the middle. And there's my really simple boat. I'm actually going to use my select tool and select freeform. I'm going to stretch it out just a little bit so it's a little wider. There we go. Very cute. Lastly, I'm going to add my stars, on the outside of my moon, and then I'm going to add some in the night sky where the waves are as well. So for my stars, I'm going to turn my pen size, my brush size down to about 14. I'm going to do an angled upside down V, and then an angled V to create that kind of 4-point star. I'm going to do that a few times. top corner, and then I'll do a few more out here to the side. Okay. Now I'm going to lower my brush size to 2. And I'm going to start putting in different shapes for stars in the sky in the moon, where my waves are. So I'm going to copy the 4-point stars. They're just going to be smaller. That'll be one shape that I do. Then I'm just going to do 3 dots in a triangle, again, just to add a little bit of variation there. I also like doing kind of an asterisk. And then lastly, a plus sign. And I am just going to vary these shapes throughout the sky, different sizes, different placements, just to add that variety in the night sky with my boat. Now I keep zooming out and zooming back in just to get a better idea of where I'm placing these as I'm working. All right, so I'm going to come into my actions, turn off my drawing guide. And there we have our super quick and easy line art. Thank you so much for drawing with me today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you're notified when new videos are posted. Hope to see you soon!